The trophy that symbolizes the NBA championship gets awarded tonight. For 9 months, from the start of training camp to now, two teams have practiced diligently, traveled nearly endlessly, and played on occasion flawlessly. Which team deserves it more can be debated. That answer is totally subjective. But one thing is absolute. One game on this early summer's night in Texas will determine a champion. Oh yeah, there are some Pistons fans here tonight, but they are vastly outnumbered by the Spur fans, who hope this is the beginning of an all-night celebration. And as you come into the SBC Center, it is so loud you cannot hear yourself thinking as we get set for the 7th game of the 2005 NBA Finals, the Detroit Pistons against the San Antonio Spurs. I'm Al Michaels, along with UB Brown, Michelle Tafoya, and Stuart Scott will be handling the sidelines tonight. And a lot of people thought at the beginning of the series we had the two best teams in the league in the finals. So here we go now to a 7th game. The first 4 games in this series were all routes. The home team won each. The average margin of victory was 21 points. But Game 5 was a classic. Robert Horry winning in overtime. Game 6 was great. And so tonight, the 7th game, a champion will be determined. Perhaps an individual legacy will be forever determined. And certainly the legacy of the 2005 NBA Finals will be determined. As I turn now to UB, let's talk first about Detroit. The other night you said Richard Hamilton in Game 6, he'd be the key. He scored 23. You were prescient. You were right on. What about tonight? What does Detroit have to do to win?
Well, the big thing is they must stay hot in their shooting. Can they shoot 47% again from the field in back-to-back road games? Then also the three-point shooting was magnificent. They made 8. Well, in the previous 5 games, they only made 8. Picked up 8 easy points. Then the X factor, Tayshaun Prince, along with Rasheed Wallace. In the first, you can see it right there, they only averaged right there 19 points, 10 points or less between them. But then they had a strong Game 6. Whenever you say 29 points, 10 rebounds, 4 block shots, you're doing the yeoman's job.
Now, as far as the Spurs are concerned, clearly the centerpiece is Tim Duncan. He seeks his 3rd Finals MVP trophy. But what about the rest of the Spurs? What's their recipe tonight for a win?
Well, I think you got to get back to Game 1, Al, and that is Game 1 and 2. They were out there playing to their maximum potential. Duncan, Ginóbili, Parker, they came in with the points, 61 points, shooting 54% from the field. Then a drop-off, not only of the 13 points, but how about the 42% field goal percentage? But the real pressure is on this team to make their foul shots. In Games 5 and 6, they're only shooting 59% in close contests. And then Tim Duncan must step up. You cannot shoot 9 for 21 in this game tonight. We've got to come in with big numbers. Should be interesting.
If you're a sports fan, there are no more delicious words than Game 7. Let's find out more about the Spurs, and we go to Michelle Tafoya. Michelle.
Well, Al, speaking with Coach Greg Popovich before the game, he acknowledged there may be some minor changes in strategy tonight, but he really wanted his team to focus on just 2 things here in Game 7. Number 1, come to play, come to compete. Don't think about the game, just come to play and play with ferocity. He called that his players' best ally. And number 2, half-court defense. He said his team played very well in the half-court defense in games 1 and 2, which they won, but they haven't been the same since. And he thinks a return to that will result in some much-needed transition offense. But speaking with Manu Ginóbili, there's one more key ingredient. Manu told me we cannot forget about Tim Duncan in the 4th quarter. Now over to Stuart Scott, who's with the Pistons.
Thanks a lot, Michelle. True, no team has ever won games 6 and 7 on the road to win the finals. But the Pistons not only don't care about stats right now, as far as they're concerned, this is not about winning 2 games. Ben Wallace told me this is 1 game. It's like college. 1 game to win the championship. Rip Hamilton called it urgent. When I said, yo, Rip, wasn't game 6 urgent? He said, yeah, it was urgency to stay alive. This is urgency to win it all. It's bigger. The Pistons as a team are very relaxed, even loose. Nobody seems nervous, as Tim Duncan admitted he was, but Rasheed Wallace doesn't even buy that. She told me, Tim Duncan ain't nervous. There's no way. I've never seen him nervous. When I asked Sheed if he was ready, he smiled, a real big smile, and he said in the voice of a comedian, are we ready? Yeah, we're ready. Then he started laughing out and just put his headphones back on.
Thank you, Stuart. Well, in about 3 hours, we'll know everything. Right now to the PA announcer here in San Antonio, Stan Kelly.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the presentation of the colors by the 433rd Airlift Wing Color Guard from Lackland Air Force Base, Texas. Now, please remove all caps and hats to pay respect to our flag and country. And tonight, to honor America with the singing of our national anthem, please welcome country music recording artists Brooks and Dunn.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave.
And as the lights come back up at the SBC Center, here are the Bud Light starting lineups for Game 7.
And good evening, everyone. It's Game 7 of the NBA Finals, where legends are born. Here is the starting lineup for the Eastern Conference champion Detroit Pistons. Their head coach, Larry Brown. Starting at a guard, 6'3" from Colorado, number 1, Chauncey Billups. The other guard, 6'7", from UConn, 32, Richard Hamilton. forward, 6'11" from North Carolina, 36, Rasheed Wallace. Forward, 6'9" from Kentucky, 22, Tayshaun Brent. And a center, 6'9" from Virginia Union, number 3, Ben Wallace. For this. Are you ready? Here is the starting lineup. The Western Conference champions. Give it up for your San Antonio Spurs. He starts forward, 6'11", from Wake Forest University, 21, Tim Duncan. Other forward, 6'7", from Cal State Fullerton, number 12, Bruce Bowen. The center, 6'10", from Kentucky, number 2, Nazim Mohammed. The guard, 6'6", from Argentina, number 20, Manu. Ginóbili. Y'all ready for this? And the other guard, 6'2", from Paris, number 9, Tony Parker. Head coach Greg Popovich.
And those were the Bud Light starting lineups. So here we go, Game 7. This series is a fortnight old, and we've had a little bit of everything.
That was the dagger right there.
On cue, Manu.
Oh, great.
What a pass to Parker.
That's what they're all about, Al. Everyone sacrifices.
It's knocked away by Ben Wallace. And Wallace with a jam. You talk about a perfect start. They have 7 players. 7 in double figures. They know this one is gone.
Oh, they
to Horry for 3. Oh, unbelievable. This guy is off the charts.
Hey, I didn't tell you I love you guys.
He's so proud of them because they have answered the bell with their hearts.
And one game for everything. You know, kids dream about playing in a Game 7. That doesn't mean a 64-year-old coach and a 56-year-old coach, best pals, can't dream about it as well. That big hug, they will have lifetime memories. Obviously, they've had some, and now tonight they meet in a Game 7 of the NBA Finals, and here we go. Joey Crawford to put the ball in the air. Dick Pavetta and Eddie F. Rush are the other officials. And San Antonio controls the opening tip with Tony Parker bringing the ball into the front court. He's picked up by Chauncey Billups. Ginóbili is guarded by Tayshaun. Duncan comes way outside with Wallace on him and then puts it up off the glass.
You're looking for that early, Al. What you want is every time that you get a switch or you get in a help situation, get the ball to Duncan early and let him operate in the clock.
Tayshaun is guarded by Ginóbili.
This is a big matchup in this game tonight.
And Manu bodies him, and the foul is called here by Dick Pavetta. So go back to the basket, the opening basket of the game, Duncan.
Well, what I like to see there on that screen, Rasheed Wallace had to help on the dribbler, Ginóbili. That freed up Duncan for a second. Anytime that you're running at Duncan, he can make the jumper or he can take you off the dribble.
Now Rasheed Wallace, one of the stars the other night, over Duncan, and he has that height advantage, and he's been able to exploit it at early junctures in games throughout the finals.
That time and time again, Al, especially from that spot on the floor.
Ginóbili stops and hits.
The Ginóbili-Prince matchup could dictate the game. Ginóbili needs to create and score big, and Prince needs just to be consistent and force Ginóbili into a difficult night shooting.
And they look like Bowen and Hamilton underneath on that sequence. Now Rasheed Wallace for three. That doesn't go. Parker gets it for the Spurs. Loves to penetrate. Goes all the way. Has to dish it back out, and that's a turnover. And Detroit now with a 3-on-1. And he got away with traveling. He missed the basket, but they get it back.
3-on-1 situation. All he had to do was give it up, get it back. The defender would have had to commit.
Ben Wallace, and Ben Wallace, an MVP candidate in this series.
Well, there's got to be premium on the defensive rebounding here tonight. Detroit's having a shade under 15 a game, and then at the other end, San Antonio 13.
Parker, a runner from the lane, and Big Ben off the glass.
Easy points tonight will be the key in this game. Whether you get him on second shot or whether you get him out in transition.
Billups, who had a 34-point game in Game 5. Brent has come alive in the last couple of games of the series after a very slow start. Wallace works on Muhammad, and Wallace has given them far more offense in the finals than anyone could have dreamed.
Well, Ben Wallace is shooting 56%. Now, a lot of his shots are on second shot attempts cutting to the basket, but he has shot a very, very high percentage facing the basket. Now, that was a difficult release.
Parker stopping in the lane, has that one blocked. Hamilton quickly over to Prince. Hamilton is free. Duncan sends it out to Parker. Bruce Bowen handling the ball. He's going to drive, and Bruce Bowen will draw the foul.
Yeah, good call by Joey Crawford. A definite bump. You can see when the guys have the basketball tonight, they are not going to let them maul one another at the defensive end.
Bowen to inbound. Early substitution as Brent Barry comes into the game, and they give Parker an early rest. So Popovich, less than 4 minutes into the game, goes to the bench, and there goes Ben Wallace all the way in for the lay-in.
Once again, a deflection. San Antonio must play tougher in the post area and in the paint. You must be strong. This is a team that relies on shot blocking, deflections, forced turnovers to get out in the open floor.
Parker comes back in. So what was that there? Was that just a case of Popovich wanting to talk to Parker? He had him out for 15 seconds.
Absolutely.
Puts him back in. Barry sits down. Now Ginóbili inside the arc.
You can see that Prince is honoring the quickness off the dribble of Ginóbili in his first two possessions. But Ginóbili will give you that rocker move and step back. He's a very confident guy in the perimeter.
Hamilton off the curl, and that's his bread and butter play. Detroit by 4 early. Duncan passed up a shot from 15. Muhammad gets the rebound, can't get the bounce. Duncan loses it. Back come the Pistons.
Now that's the value of a point guard who's getting you 5 rebounds. Chauncey Billups kept that ball alive to knock it out.
Billups, 3-point attempt. Duncan with the rebound.
I like the pace. This is San Antonio pace. Now, for Detroit, they just got to take advantage of the 3-on-2, 4-on-3s and get the easy baskets.
Muhammad and Ben Wallace on him. Rasheed is on Duncan. And out of bounds. That one will go to San Antonio.
Detroit's defense has been just what you would expect it to be. They're trying to play and clog up off the dribble to the basket penetration by Parker and Ginóbili. Then they've done a very good job in holding San Antonio to one shot attempt.
Fresh block is Bowen inbounds. Duncan collects it. And over Rasheed, Wallace, and Big Ben underneath. But all he needs is that one left hand. Like a big claw. And you got Billups posting down low and scoring through Parker.
Yeah, there's nothing they can do about that. Billups can take Parker at will. He not only has a size advantage, but he also has 20 pounds on him. Billups plays extremely strong with his back to the basket. Now down inside, anytime he gets in there, Chauncey Billups, he can finish, and you're afraid to foul him because of the high percentage.
ABC Sports exclusive coverage of the NBA Finals. Brought to you by Bud Light. Fresh, smooth, real. It's all here.
Just before the game, the two guys in their respective huddles, and right now, UB Detroit's on a 10-2 run, up by 6.
All right, mainly because San Antonio is struggling with their shooting. This is a game tonight. It's all about poise, and it's all about character of the individuals, and then execution as a team.
6:43 to go in the opening period. Ginóbili to inbound. And he gets it back. Robert Horry has come into the game for the first time. And underneath is Duncan to put it back in.
It's the premium thing at both ends of the floor. You must take care of your defensive board. Both teams are excellent getting their second shot attempts and then completing the shot.
Four-point game. Hamilton is short. Barry high for the rebound. Now to Ginóbili.
Bowen chased Hamilton from one side of the lane to the other and then had to negotiate around a staggered screen.
Ginóbili gets a little bit of help. Back out it comes to Barry. And a little 12-footer from the lane goes.
That was good defense and a closeout by Ben Wallace. He chased Barry off of that three-point shot. Barry being a high percentage three-pointer, over 40. He forced him down inside. You'd rather give up 2 than 3.
Rasheed Wallace. Joey Crawford signals a call away from the ball. Go back to Brent Barry's play, the runner in the lane.
Now you see right there, Ben Wallace came out and he forced Barry to make a very difficult shot. I like what we're seeing in the refereeing. They are not allowing the defender to grab and hold on any kind of movement across the lane before they come off the screen.
That foul on Ginóbili, and so he has to take a seat in the first quarter. 2 fouls, and the coach just about compelled to get a straight out of there. And there's the block, and Barry comes back the other way.
Now they'll go Ben Wallace on Horry, but then great block by Duncan.
And Horry responds at the other end.
Whenever you play San Antonio, they run their trailer right to the defensive arc in the lane. If you play behind that guy and he makes a catch, that's an easy score.
Tied at 12. Rasheed, Wallace missing, and Parker is there underneath.
He was off balance. That time Duncan was right up on top of him. Duncan
clearing it out. Duncan and Wallace. And a foul here on Rasheed.
Now right there, Ben Wallace is taking Horry off the dribble. Duncan comes from the other side. Now right here, this is just a strong move. You see, they're going to be consistent now. They're not going to let you grab, so you must adjust.
6 on the shot clock. Barry gets stripped on his way into the lane. That's already 14 fouls now against Detroit. And that one's on Billups. And that's his second foul. And now Lindsey Hunter's going to have to come into the game. So you've got 2 key guys who have to take a seat early in the game. Ginóbili on one side, Billups on the other.
Right, there are 2 people who can get you 20-plus points. So naturally, you must make quick adjustments.
4:20 left in the period. It's Duncan. 5 on the shot clock. Spins underneath, and it's swatted away by Ben Wallace again.
Big Ben is everywhere early. Great hands that time by Bowen. Bowen rebound.
1 game for everything. 4:08 to play in the opening quarter. Detroit 12, San Antonio 12. The NBA Finals, Game 7 on ABC. How have the home teams done in Game 7s over the last quarter century? 8-0 in baseball. In the Stanley Cup Finals, in the 7th game, the home teams are 5-0. In the NBA Finals, 3-0. So no team at home in any of those sports has lost the deciding game since 1979. The We Are Family Pittsburgh Pirates went to Baltimore and clinched the World Series at Old Memorial Stadium. That's the last time.
My only comment is Detroit is very confident that they can be the first.
They absolutely are.
Look, they're out here tonight, and they're doing what they do best. Blocking shots, forcing turnovers, getting out on the break. But when you lose a player of Billups' character early, that is a major blow. Because not only does he run your team, but he has also made 11 threes. He's your primetime three-point shooter in this series.
And then with him on the bench, they start with a steal and then a foul. And over the limit now, so Robert Horry, who gets fouled, will go to the free throw line. McDyess has come into the game for Rasheed Wallace, and Nazir Mohammed comes in for Tim Duncan for San Antonio. Horry misses the first of 2. Here's Michelle.
Al, you mentioned earlier how Tony Parker got benched really briefly early after he took 2 errant shots, and Popovich just wanted to talk to him and calm down his young point guard. In the last huddle, just moments ago, Popovich at the end of his speech looked at Tony Parker and said, "You all right?" Tony nodded yes, and Pop took his knuckles and sort of knocked on Tony's head as if to make sure everything was still okay in there. So for now, the point guard is back in, Al.
He's back in. He had that brief little sojourn on the bench where Popovich needed about 15 seconds to settle him down and talk to him early. Horry makes 1 of 2. San Antonio has the lead.
Parker is averaging right at 15 points in this series, and he's shooting 48%. So there's nothing wrong with that part of it all. It just comes down sometimes to shot selection with the percentage. Is it a good percentage shot?
Prince missed and then Hamilton missed. 3.5 left in the opening period in the 7th game. Parker has the lane cut off here. You've got 6 on the clock. Goes in again. Mohammed juggles it. Picks it back up. Shot clock violation. Did he get the rim? He did.
He did.
Didn't matter. Detroit gets the ball anyway. And driving all the way is Hunter to blow the layup.
Wow, that was a strong move by Lindsey. He got himself caught underneath the rim. And he did not have a good angle on the release. That's why when you're in transition defense, you never say, that's a gimme, let him go. You keep challenging and try to put pressure on the shot.
Here's Horry.
Oh, boy.
Yes, for three.
Horry coming into this game was shooting 48% in threes. That was his 14th make in this series.
Since Popovich called that timeout, a 10-0 run. So he said the perfect things, and Hamilton stops that streak. Basket there, making it a 2-point game. Horry.
Every time that Robert Horry catches the ball at the top of the circle and he has McDyess on him, in this series, if you notice, he takes him with a right dribble and he takes him down strong all the way to the basket. He never settles for a short jump shot.
Horry knows what it's like to play in a Game 7 of the NBA Finals. He played in the last one in '94 as a Rocket against the Knicks, winning one of his 5 rings, and it's out of bounds, and it will go to the Spurs.
To get an offensive rebound here today, you have got to want contact. And then you cannot cry about a non-call. You must play big here this evening.
Mohammed to the bench. Horry has San Antonio's last 6 points. Spurs up by 4, a minute and a half in the quarter remaining. Barry drives by Prince, and they're going to get an offensive foul.
Once again, Ben Wallace. As Brent Barry goes down, he's hurting right now. Let's just hope it's only a stinger. Ben Wallace, beautiful rotation, stepped right in, takes the charge. Just watch him recover here. See, he takes it right there. Now, Barry could have had a pass off to the right, because when Ben Wallace left his man, you never just want to stay in the same spot. Move and create a passing lane for Barry so that you get a dunk.
Barry was still grimacing a couple of seconds ago. Sucks it up, guards Prince. This is Lindsey Hunter. McDyess turns around and drops it in over Horry.
From that area, McDyess shoots a terrific percentage, whether he's facing or whether he is taking you with a fadeaway jump shot. That's his pet area.
Final minute of the quarter. Horry. Now Tayshaun Prince with 45 seconds. Hamilton comes off the curl. That time Bowen was right with him.
Yeah, he gambled. He shot the gap and he gambled.
Here's Hunter. Lindsey is short, but Detroit gets it.
Oh, bad pass.
Then they throw it away, and it's Barry. And it's knocked away as Hamilton saves the basket. They couldn't save the ball, but he saves the basket on a fine play. And now with 22 seconds to play, San Antonio will have it.
Now, this is just a sensational play by Hamilton right there. Not only that, but how about this? Almost a great save.
2-second differential between the shot and game clock. You can take it almost all the way down.
In every game in this situation, you'll get a high screen somewhere at the top of the circle.
And there it is. And Parker tries to exploit it, and he can't. And Hamilton will throw one up just before the horn and not get it. Tight, tough defense prevailing. What else is new? The number 1 and 2 defensive teams in the league. And they're meeting in Game 7. And at the end of one, it's San Antonio 18. Detroit 16. One game for the championship. The NBA Finals on ABC. Al Michaels with UB Brown, Michelle Tafoya, and Stuart Scott. A reminder, Empire, a new series premiering next Tuesday on ABC. The Spurs trying to create their own mini empire with a third championship in 7 years. And, of course, Detroit trying to win the title back-to-back.
The pace of the game has been up-tempo. Unfortunately, we are not getting great shooting. Right now, Detroit is shooting 38%, San Antonio 40. The advantage for San Antonio has been the bench production of Barry and Horry. They have 10 points to only 2 for McDyess and the Detroit bench.
Detroit inbounds to start the second quarter. Lindsey Hunter. Rasheed Wallace looking inside to Prince. Tayshaun missing, but gets it back. Hunter never shy to put it up. Underneath, Hamilton is there for the offensive board to tie the game.
Now Detroit, they're getting good looks, Al. They're getting good looks from anywhere from 12 to 17 feet. They just have to relax and knock them down. And also the advantage of posting up Prince on Brent Barry. You must take advantage of that.
But Duncan saves it and scores.
Now that's a break. Detroit got the deflection. Unfortunately, they did not get to the loose ball.
Prince cuts inside. Hamilton will lay it off for McDyess. Hamilton tries to find room, does, and he puts it in to tie it at 20.
That was just a great head fake. When Hamilton came off the head fake, committed Horry as he passed them, he regrouped. Difficult shot off of 1 foot.
So crowd gathered at the Pistons home watching the game on the big screens there. Turnover here. Prince behind his back. Waits to set up, has a 3 opportunity, and cashes in.
Now this is the young man that's got to get it going. He has been an outstanding three-point shooter all year. And in this series, he has struggled. That is his first 3.
Picked a pretty good time for it. Ginóbili's going to come back into the game. So Manu with 2 fouls. He returns with a little more than 10 minutes to go in the opening half. Bowen alone. McDyess cleared it.
Well, they'll force Bowen to make that shot. And they will continue to double team with his man helping out in the lane until Bowen hits a few so that then they'll have to honor him.
Hamilton works it over to Prince. Again, Tayshaun missing this time. Bowen off the glass. Ginóbili with 4 points. Horry now, who got hot in the first quarter. Parker from the corner. Tony Parker knocks it in to tie the game.
That time Lindsey Hunter was there, but he didn't want to close him out. Mainly because Parker still had his dribble. You always must be concerned with a Parker taking you strong to the basket.
Only his second 3 of the series. He's 2 for 12 in the finals. And then that 3 from Hamilton doesn't go, but McDyess taps it to himself to keep possession.
Detroit getting excellent looks out. The big thing is do not rush your shot.
And a whistle underneath.
San Antonio trying to front the post people. They got away with that one, but then they grabbed with it and got picked up for a foul.
23 apiece. That's a live shot from Auburn Hills, Michigan. As I look around, it looks like they've sold every seat, and if they have, you have more people there than you have here because their building is bigger. Close to 22,000 can fit in there and about 19 here. Larry Brown, meanwhile, take a look at his resume. He's the only man to win a title in the NBA and the NCAA. Pistons last year, Kansas in '88. That win the other night was the 100th of his career. Some of you watching the finals, since it's a Game 7 for the first time. The story with Larry is he's going to be checked out at the Mayo Clinic next week, and that will determine the starters whether he can coach again. And certainly whether he can coach next year or not, and Tayshaun Prince knocks that in.
That's the value of your point guard being back in the game. It was easy to hit Prince on a pass away from the defender. He made that look easy. It was all set up by a beautiful pass by Billups.
Pistons by 2. Duncan to tie it up.
Now, McDyess was upset with himself. He thought that he was going to be able to block that shot. Nice move by Timmy, taking it right into the face of the defender.
Chauncey Billups has spent a lot of time on the bench with those 2 fouls. McDyess missing. Brent Barry, son of Rick. Horry off the bench with 8. Duncan a like figure. Tim on a fall away.
I like the defense by Antonio McDyess. He was not going to allow Duncan to bank that jump shot. He played him tight and jammed him and then forced him into an off-balance release.
Billups trying to lose Barry. Good tight defense. It comes outside. Now Ginóbili is going to lay it in there for Duncan. Tim has to come back out.
We only have had 1 fast break score in this game, and that was by Detroit.
Duncan off the glass. Normally money in the bank for him, but not in this series. He's not been consistent with that shot.
Well, the tempo has been up and down, but they are not looking to push and then challenge in the 4-on-3 or 5-on-4 situation. They're settling to set up a half-court offense at both ends.
Foul call here, and it is the second on Antonio McDyess.
Right now, with Parker coming back in the game, they move Ginóbili to the small forward position. You have Parker and Barry in the backcourt.
Hamilton will get a brief rest. Hunter back into the game for Larry Brown. 6 gets fouled, and Wallace is slow in getting up.
Yeah, Rasheed Wallace was trying to make a move in covering ground. See, watch, he's going to step out here right now, but it gets right there with the left leg, trips Ginóbili, and that's a stinger.
Rasheed's up, but that's 2 on him. He got into foul trouble the other night and ended the game with 5 fouls, and was the star down the stretch for Detroit in Game 6.
Both teams basically are rotating 7 guys once we got into Game 6, and they're doing it again this evening.
Parker. Yeah, this is not, as Joey Crawford looks, and it's going to be called a jump ball. Crawford checking things out with Eddie Rush.
Well, in my opinion, I thought it was off Detroit. Yeah, that's a good call. Yeah, just keep it right.
Ginóbili.
Yeah, at the last second. They're going to take it into the middle.
So it gets adjudicated as we come back to the center jump circle. Ben Wallace and Nazem Mohammed, the way the game started. And this time it's Detroit controlling the tip.
Yeah, Ben Wallace is quick on the tap. You must be ready. You've got to be ready to battle him because he wins almost all of the jump balls in the series.
Rasheed Wallace is guarded by Nazem Mohammed and draws the foul with 5:51 to play in the half.
ABC Sports exclusive coverage of the NBA Finals, brought to you by Hummer. Check out the new H3. Hummer, like nothing else.
San Antonio River, back we come to the SBC Center, about a 15-minute drive from downtown. The game is tied. Greg Popovich trying to win his 3rd title. Take a look at his resume. the age of 56. 2 NBA titles. Assistant to Larry Brown, and last year they only won the bronze, so not what they would call a thrilling memory, but now they have an opportunity here. They meet in Game 7, and the game is tied with 5:40 to go.
The game has been very choppy, Al, mainly because both teams are struggling shooting a decent percentage, and then also they're only getting one look at the basket. We are not seeing anything in transition, so we do not have a nice flow or continuity to the offenses.
And tough, contested defense, which of course is nothing new, but it's pretty amazing with Ben Wallace looking. There's going to be called on Rasheed Wallace. And for Rasheed Wallace, that's number 3. So now Rasheed Wallace in foul trouble, giving Rush an earful.
Yeah, well, right now he's questioning. He had Duncan fronted. He fronted him and he fought him really hard. Now, as this pass comes over, here comes the double team. The double team with Ben Wallace. What they're saying is that he had a hard bump on Duncan, and that's why Duncan lost control.
So he has to sit. Tony Parker.
Once again, they challenge and they get a shot block. That is their 4th block in this game.
Neither team has scored for over the last 3 minutes. And finally, the minute you say it, of course, somebody does.
Well, Detroit is struggling in the one area. We question whether or not they can shoot a high percentage in 3. They made 8 in Game 6. They're 1 for 7 tonight. That must improve as we go along because they're getting good looks.
Duncan whips it out to Parker. He passes up to 3. But Barry will launch and hit.
Barry and Horry already have 13 points between them off the bench. You must get to Brent Barry because 5 straight years he made over 100 threes and shot over 40%.
And McDyke's so valuable off the bench all year in the playoffs, in the finals.
That's right, Al. He had a great year from the field. Shot it over 50%. You just can't play him lazy. Another block.
Brown wanted goaltending. They don't get it, but they will get the foul here.
Now, Joey Crawford is up. Brent Barry is all over Joey Crawford, saying the ball was on the way down. Joey Crawford said that ball was on the way up.
And, of course, now a lot of concern here. Take a look. Horry is on the floor.
You can see that ball was still on the way up. Now, depends upon, now naturally in this building, everybody's going to get upset. Now, you can see the swing of the hand caught him right across the face.
He's okay. The other night, I mean, it just a phenomenal performance. He made that unbelievable dunk. The shoulder was killing him, and then, of course, a couple of minutes later, that launching 3 that sends the series back here with San Antonio winning Game 5.
Well, you can see that his right eye is smarting right now. Now, he has been a bear in the three-point shooting all throughout this series. Now, we know he's made 14 and shot over 48%. But what I like about it is he's taking the ball to the basket when the opportunity presents itself, whether he dunks with the left hand or going strong to the right side of the rim.
Horry now has 9 points in 12 minutes of action. Duncan will go to the bench. Horry is the only guy on either team who has been to the foul line tonight.
And with the game being called as close as it is, that's like a rare stat. Oh.
Very, very. A lot of crazy stuff in this series.
Yes.
Dyke saved it. Shot clock at 6, and you get Parker putting his hands on Billups, and that's the foul on Tony.
Yeah, they're not going to allow you to hand check. Never mind. If a guy is without the ball and he's moving on the baseline, any grabbing or bumping, foul. And then they are not going to let a strong hand check, especially in that situation.
Timeout, Detroit. Spurs by 1.
Game 7, 16th time in the NBA Finals. San Antonio led by 2 after 1. They lead by 1 as we head toward the Verizon Wireless halftime report. Mike Tirico, Greg Anthony, and Bill Walton, your thoughts on San Antonio so far?
Tony Parker's out of control. Manu Ginóbili, silly, careless fouls. The Spurs are bailing out in the basket area. Nazir Muhammad and Bruce Bowen are doing absolutely nothing. Thank goodness for Brent Berry and Robert Horry.
Well, what I see is from both teams, really, in a word, they're tight. Yeah. And I think that you're going to see as the game progresses, they're going to start to feel a little bit better. This is Game 7. This is for all the marbles. This is what you should expect, a very close game, but both teams really not shooting well.
Horry and Barry have half the San Antonio points off their bench. Coming up at half, we're taking behind the scenes the Titans down in the 2005 final. Al, see you then.
Thank you very much, Mike. You know, Yubi, as we sit here, we have the best seat in the house, center court, right on the floor. One thing really strikes me. The intensity of a Game 7. And people can say, oh, these guys are making millions of dollars and all that. But they have played about 9 months going back to training camp.
Right.
And you can't tell me you don't get a little tired. And it takes a lot out of you. It's the 25th playoff game for Detroit on top of an 82-game regular season. And everybody is leaving it on the floor tonight. I know that's a cliche, but there's no other way to put it. Wallace, Ben Wallace.
Al, you're absolutely right. Detroit has played, this will be their 107th game of the year. San Antonio 106th. And you have to be at the top because it's for all of the marbles. And you know, what we're getting here right now is Detroit struggling, getting great looks for threes, but Ginóbili and Parker only have 7 points between. Up! 10 points between them.
Yes, they do. Manu for a 3.
You know he is not bashful. He is always looking for the 3. In this series, that was his 11th score. 3-point make.
4 out of 5 for the Spurs tonight. 1 out of 7 are the Pistons from three-point land. And Ben Wallace gets free inside to tie it at 33.
Yeah, I love that. Anytime Antonio gets it and throws a ball fake, they're going because they do not want him to hit another open jump shot. But he'll give it up in traffic.
Bowen from about 8 feet, and the Admiral salutes that one. His old ball club has the lead by 2.
Now, Billups pushed him into a very tough area. That was a difficult shot.
Whistle as the pass comes into McDyess.
Yeah, McDyess was working very hard to post up Muhammad on that possession. They were looking to go for him right down inside low.
And the foul is on Muhammad. That is his second. Duncan returns to the game.
Yeah, Duncan is on McDyess. Wallace is on Horry. Or Horry is on Ben Wallace. Duncan is on McDyess.
Ticking down to 2 minutes.
Yeah, he wants to back down Parker here.
And then he lays it off underneath, and Big Ben is getting free for those jams.
When Chauncey Billups turns the corner on a screen and he gets down, the defense, you can count on it. It's going to rotate to him. But Chauncey will give it up to the big man who's open.
Ben Wallace, Defensive Player of the Year, has 12 points in the game to lead all scorers.
That's that same shot that Bowen had on the other side. He made it look easy, but that is a very difficult angle.
Hamilton. A little too strong. Loose call underneath.
Good call. Loose ball foul. They had that one out all the way over the top of Billups.
Kid Rockman from Detroit. Both teams now in the penalty. They'll go to the line for the rest of the half, which right now has 86 seconds remaining. The WNBA on ABC. This Sunday, the game is Lisa Leslie, and the LA Sparks against the Detroit Shock. Let's check in with Stuart Scott.
Al, if you ever wonder what Chauncey Billups is doing at 3 o'clock in the morning on game nights, he's watching a replay on the game on ESPN. He says every game he watches the replay. I said, why? He said, I just got to see if there's anything else I could have done. He said, usually if they play a great game, he finds things that they could have done better. If they play a bad game, he says, I usually see that we didn't play as bad as I thought we did. I said, what does your wife think about it? He said, she understands. She usually wake up about 4 o'clock in the morning. She'll see me, roll her eyes, and just go back to bed. She knows me.
Now, Parker drives to the basket. Why doesn't he get TiVo and get some sleep? Watch it at 8 in the morning.
Then maybe Parker will get going right now. That one opened up for him. He was too quick for Campbell down in the painted area.
Final minute of the opening half.
Nice.
Beautiful inside, and this time Hunter does get the bounce.
That was a beautiful pass by Elden Campbell and a great backdoor change of direction by Hunter.
And now you got another foul call here, and this one is on Lindsey. Hunter, prone to picking up fouls, sometimes in bunches. That's a second on him.
Well, you would try not to foul, especially when you are out at least 35 to 40 feet from the basket. You're trying not to have the contact, mainly because you don't want to send a guy to the foul line at this juncture. You want them to try to shoot and make the basket because both teams are struggling with low shooting percentages at this juncture in the game.
You got Parker in the game, and Larry Brown thinking about foul trouble. He has Ronald Dupree, who's barely played in postseason in the game. He also has Elden Campbell in the game. Campbell has played sparingly. Campbell has not been in this series at all, but with 43.7, Larry does not want to risk that extra foul.
Right, he's trying to protect his front court guys and also Billups. He does not want to have Billups pick up his third here.
And Devin Brown has come in for Popovich for the first time of the game. That's Brown defensively on Prince. Kept back up, cleared by Barry.
Once again, Duncan with an intimidation there. He changed the direction of that shot.
And you have the shot clock and the game clock just about ticking down simultaneously. San Antonio can take it to the end. They take a timeout. 18.3 to the half. Detroit by 1. Next order of business after this for the NBA is the draft, and you'll see it. ESPN will have it Tuesday night, 7:30 Eastern Time. Mike Tirico heading the group for the NBA draft. So now you've got San Antonio a chance to take the lead and probably take it into halftime if they take the clock all the way down or close enough at .3, the differential shot and game clock.
We're in a situation where the home team feels, yeah, we're shooting 40%, but we're at home. We're getting great production from the bench. Things will get going in the second half. Ginóbili and Parker will get it going. If you're Detroit, you're saying to yourself, hey, we are in great shape no matter what happens on this last possession. We're struggling 1 for 7 from the threes. We're shooting a low percentage, but we're getting the shot blocks. We're forcing turnovers, and we're getting good looks at the basket.
Another timeout is called. You know, at the risk of sounding like a shill, because we said it the other night, beauty, again, is in the eye of the beholder. This is not Phoenix against Dallas. It's rough, and it's tough, and it's a little like the NFL right now. But you've got two teams playing one game for the championship, and it may not have been a high-scoring first half, but a pretty fascinating one in its own right.
Well, you have the two top defensive teams that we have in the league. They are both in the top 3 in 5 of the toughest defensive categories. Plus, they anchor it with outstanding shot blocking at both ends. So they erase an awful lot of easy opportunities that most teams would get in a different setting.
Well put. Ginóbili letting the clock work its way down. Now to 7 seconds. Behind his back. And Manu puts it up, and it doesn't go. At the end, nearly a double dribble.
Well, he wanted a call. I thought that the defense was outstanding by Lindsey Hunter. And then also Hamilton came right in at the last second and forced a difficult shot. Watch it right here. Here comes Hamilton to help him out. As he steps through, he thought that he had an easier shot.
Over to Stuart Scott.
Thanks a lot, Al. Ben Wallace, Defensive Player of the Year, leading your team in scoring. What has surprised you most about this first half, Ben?
You know, it's tough. You know, nothing really surprising anybody right now. But it's just, you know, it's amazing how hard both teams are playing. Nobody want to give an inch.
How frustrating is it that you guys' shots aren't falling?
Not really frustrated. As long as we continue to stay in the game, as long as we give ourselves a chance to win the game, you know, we'll take it right here.
If you're Coach Larry Brown, what do you tell your team with 24 minutes left in this season?
Just stay solid. You know, do what you do. Do what you've been doing all season. Do what you did to get here.
All right, Ben, we appreciate it. Good luck in the second half.
Thanks,
Al?
Thank you, Stuart. 1-point game. This is the 16th Game 7 in an NBA Finals, and it's the narrowest margin of those 16. A 1-point game in San Antonio. The world champion Detroit Pistons, 39, and the San Antonio Spurs, 38 at the half. After the break, Mike Tirico, Bill Walton, Greg Anthony, and the Verizon Wireless Halftime Report, the NBA Finals on ABC.